and we have secured some of the largest discrimination settlements in modern times. There's been nothing like it. In just 9 months, we have done more to protect Jewish Americans than any administration in history by far, and we're just getting started. We are going to continue to help. Together, we will make America stronger, safer, richer, prouder, and greater than ever before. I want to thank you once again to everyone at the Republican Jewish Coalition. God bless America. I'm with you all the way.
All the way. Okay, Ted Cruz. Let's see the first Ted Cruz one.
And I will tell you, at least for me, I am very proud to be a Christian Zionist.
This is quiet. Hold on, let's hear if this one's louder.
Now, in my Bible,
Yep, he turned it up. Thank God. We're going to go to this one then. And my Bible says, I read it in a book, and my Bible says we support Israel. Here we go. You know it's coming.
And replacement theology is a twisted view that the Jews are no longer God's chosen people, that the promises in the Old Testament no longer apply.
This satanic idea that the Jews are not really chosen because
I read about it in a book.
It cannot stand as a Christian.
And that Christians have replaced Jews. Now, in my Bible, I believe every word of it is true, and I believe every promise that God made to the people of Israel remains a promise that is made to the chosen people.
I'm a good guy, and it says you're chosen.
And the last I checked, Jesus was a Jew.
Oh. Woo!
And I will tell you, at least for me, I am very proud to be a Christian Zionist. And replacement theology is a twisted view that the Jews are no longer God's chosen people, that the promises in the Old Testament...
Don't you love it? All these Christians say, you're the heretics. You're not the real Christians. And then all the e-Crusaders online go, no, you're the satanic Schofield Zionist fake Christians. And then it just carries on. That's the dance. They tiptoe back and forth, calling each other not real Christians. And the Jews aren't the real Jews. And where do we get? They just keep marching to Zion. The shit. Here's former police officer Tatum, top token black Shabbos goy.
You dare to do such an atrocity to people that I love, people that I respect, people that are chosen by God. You decide to do something like that.
Who added the chirp? Okay, that's what's so funny. They added the chirp in. Okay.
Chosen by God, you decide to do something like that, you should never have an opportunity to do it again. And it should be an example to everybody in the world that if you ever think about trying something like this, your country will cease to exist.
Will cease to exist? Dude, adding the chirp to that is so funny. Okay, and then boxing champion Floyd Mayweather there in a wizard costume that literally says Republican Jewish Coalition on it. They put him in, dude. Dude, he's got his boxing jacket, has an Israeli flag on it.
I'm not with you guys 10%, 50%. I will always be the voice for the people in Israel. I will always stand behind the country of Israel, the one and only Floyd Money Mayweather in Israel.
Money.
I will always be here for you guys when you guys don't have a voice.
Okay, are we gonna say that because he's worth like $500 million? I'm seeing his estimated net worth is somewhere in the hundreds of millions. He's got hundreds of millions of dollars. He's not being paid off by Jews. He's made his money. He's worth hundreds of millions. So what is it that inspires him to come and do this? It's because he's a Christian, right? It's not because he's being paid by AIPAC. What are you going to say? Is he blackmailed? They're going to throw him in jail for tax fraud or something if he doesn't do this? That could be it. Blackmail? Yeah, could be blackmail. They're like, hey, you want to be Kanye, or you want to... This is what they wanted Kanye to do, but he refused. It's like, hey, you saw what we did to Kanye, White Freud? You want to be indicted by the government for something? You already know. Tax relief. Yeah, it's probably tax relief. Sex videos could be that too. He seems like he's under duress.
I said before, I'm not with you guys 10%, 50%. I will always be the voice for the people in Israel.
So what is it, 100%? You're just 100% on their side no matter what?
Country of Israel, the one and only.
Is he a Christian, though?
And like I said before,
Slave.
Committed to fighting this garbage, and if you sit there and nod adoringly.
He doesn't
Well,
look very
someone
happy to be
tells
there,
you
no.
That Winston Churchill was the villain of World War II. If you sit there and nod while someone says, there's a very good argument America should have intervened on behalf of Nazi Germany in World War II. If you sit there with someone who says Adolf Hitler was very, very cool, and that their mission is to combat and defeat global Jewry, and you say nothing, then you are a coward.
What? So you just want to be ruled over by global Jewry? Or you're not, global Jewry isn't a thing. You're not at the Republican Jewish Coalition. There's not another conference like this for Jews like every other week, every other event, every other award. World Jewish Congress, Zionist Organization of America. They don't exist. It's just a myth. But then now that when you say you want to destroy it, global Jewry does destroy you.
And you are complicit in that evil. And I am committed to calling out this garbage. I am committed to fighting this garbage. And I am committed to going to young people and saying, these are poisonous lies.
What is this Hitler shit? I don't know. Anyway, here's what I do know. You can sit in a basement with weird people and say weird things. It's a free country, right?
Is he drunk?
But if you ever run for office
He is.
as a Republican and you embrace this weird shit, we're going to beat your brains out. If you're an
I guess they don't have power. We're not allowed to talk about their power, their influence, or their deplatforming, and how you have to go along with the Israel slave agenda, otherwise they're going to beat your brains out. He's definitely drunk.
with weird.
They're like, these, you and your little podcasts in your basements and your Stalin and Hitler and he's tipsy, yeah.
People and say weird things. It's a free country, right? But if you ever run for office as a Republican and you embrace this weird shit, we're going to beat your brains out.
Yeah, go against Jews and you'll live in your mom's basement forever.
And you think because somebody loves Israel, their brain is wired? That means you got a brain. Nothing wrong with your brain. We will
He is
meet
so
you
drunk.
on the battlefield of political discourse, and we will beat you politically. I want the world to know anti-Semitism, anti-Israel rhetoric.
I just want to say one thing. She's like the drunk girl at the party. I just want to say one thing, actually. If you're against the Jews,
Israel thought is not the road to being elected as a Republican. You will lose.
Here's the deal. If you're running as a Republican for Senate or House or anything else, and you start playing this game of anti-Semitism, you know, Israel's not really our friends, you don't want to get entangled with the Jews because they run the world, all this crazy crap, you'll get creamed. When some
Dude, if they don't run the world, then how do you get crinked?
young college student suggests that maybe our support of Israel is misplaced, that we're spending too much money to help Israel. Israel gets us in more problems than they're worth. I say you need to pick up a history book. You know, the tenet of the faith, the evangelical community, is God blesses those who bless Israel.
Pick up a history book like the Bible that says you're blessed if you bless the Jews. He says, pick up the history book. Now God's curses on the goy that don't bless the Jews is a history book. See, this is the problem with not acknowledging and not exposing that the Bible is fake Jewish fairy tales. Then it becomes a history book that says you got to bless the Jews or be cursed.
I read about it in a book.
Dude, that is so funny. When I was a kid, I was taught the Bible was a history book. I'm like, well, this is our best history? This is, wow, things were really crazy back then. Noah's Ark, really? So funny.
You know, the tenet of the faith, the evangelical community, is God blesses those who bless Israel. There's nothing wrong with our brain being wired. If you don't like Jerusalem being the capital of Israel, then take it up with God. He's the one that did it, not me. So,
It's God. It's your God. Zion is his holy mountain. That's in Israel. Yeah, what does the Old Testament say about sodomy, Lindsay?
On how it's back to Syria, because they'll use it to attack Israel. Bottom line here is that we need to be clear, concise, and a bit emotional. We're going to stand by Israel. We're not going to fall out of God's favor. We're not going to pull the rug on one of the best allies.
We're not going to fall out of God's... Dude, Christianity needs a complete and total shutdown until we can solve this. This is unacceptable. Career politicians that think the Bible's a history book, that you fall out of the favor of God if you don't give Israel everything that they want, if you don't go to Israel and grovel and pander and say, Lindsey Graham, more for Israel. If you don't prostrate yourself like Lindsey Graham, when he goes to Israel like this, Netanyahu with a sign, holding up a sign like a little errand boy that says more for Israel, you don't do that, well, you'll fall out of the favor of God. And we're going to beat your brains out. You go grovel before Netanyahu like a good Christian, a good God-fearing goy, and hold the sign up that says more for Israel. Otherwise, we're going to beat your brains out if you say we run anything. Dude, what is this world that we're living in? Come on.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
And why does he talk about the Bible? Because there's millions of Bible-believing, gullible sheep goy. Cattle that believe these Jewish lies. It's at the core of all of it. Hey, come on, you crusaders. A couple more memes. Call us Jewish a few more times. How about a few more pagan memes? How about a few more Christ is King chants? That's going to fix this. What?
Are you questioning my faith? You want to go?
Any American could hope to have, and we're going to help Israel make America safer by taking on radical Islamists who would come here if they could get here. That's the end.
They only want to come here and attack us because of our support for Israel. Our support for Israel, dude, their arguments are so bad. These arguments are so easily refuted, and they just keep regurgitating them over and over again for years.
Now, in my Bible, I believe every word of it is true, and I believe every promise that God made to the people of Israel remains a promise that is made to the chosen people.
Oh, my God. And it doesn't matter if Tucker confronts me and millions of groypers post memes about me working for the Jews. It doesn't matter because I'm in Congress, and I got the millions, and I get the book deals and go on all the big shows, and we run things. Okay, that's the real world. You and your little podcast and your little basements and your kosher conspiracies and your denials and your copes, it's gonna do nothing but give us our boogeyman we need. That's all that's happening.
This prophecy is how they enslave us.
And the last I checked, Jesus was a Jew.
No, Bryce Mitchell's going to save us from
And
God's
I will
chosen
tell you,
people.
at least for me, I am very proud to be a Christian Zionist.
Actually, if anything, I'm here to thank you as the Jewish community for converting us. Because every blessing in my Christian life is the byproduct of your Jewish religion, your culture, your history, and your values. Genesis
Who is this
12:3,
guy?
which you read this weekend, is the verse.
Who's this guy?
He talks like a fag, too.
Who is he?
A verse that every evangelical knows by heart. I
Here
will
we
bless
go.
those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. This is not poetry. It's theology. We don't stand with Israel because it's convenient. Often it
It's
isn't.
theology.
We don't stand with Israel because it's easy. Rarely.
I don't think it's all blackmailed. It's brainwashed. It's brainwashed by religion. Listen to him closely. This is what, funny, See Through It All and Need More Amalek and our guys had to go up and clip it because most of the Christian e-crusaders are going to avoid all of this stuff. They avoid how kosher and the whole thing is because Christianity is at the root of all of this. They don't clip it up.
Book is our book. Your heroes are our heroes, and your values are our values.
Cucked. Christian cucked. And this is why we must abandon. This is what they'll always use against us as long as we're Christian.
It isn't. We don't stand with Israel because it's easy. Rarely is it. We stand out of conviction because your book is our book. Your heroes are our heroes, and your values are our values.
And there's the problem.
The equation is really quite simple. When America blesses Israel and remains the best home for the Jews outside of Israel itself, then America will be blessed. The U.S.-Israel partnership, it's not only about America's interest.
Dude, it's not only this guy's voice, dude. How are all there? It's like they've been cursed with these voices. What's up with these voices? Hold on, who is this guy, by the way? Okay, Need More Amalek, I thought you did the write-up on him. Started clipping this up. Incredible display of Christian philo-Semitism. E-Crusaders understand that you enable this when you prevent people from criticizing Christianity as a whole and gatekeep discussions on the Bible. You enable this. Philo-Semitic and anti-white Christian leaders. This is Reverend Johnny Moore, Liberty University assistant to Jerry Falwell. Founded the Kairos Company, PR firm specializing in evangelical and faith-based clients. This one man is more powerful and represents more Christians than all the coping, lying e-crusaders combined. The money and status he receives are just icing on the cake. He knows the Bible far better than any of these biblically illiterate accounts on X. Your religion is being used as a subversive force against our people. E-crusaders want us to shut up about this as they do nothing about it. And then a little ode. Forget about it. Forget about it. Nice touch there, Amalek. Forget about it. Oops, wrong one.
It's the secret to our success. And we
being
also
Jew slaves.
It's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The God who
Abraham,
keeps his
Isaac,
promises.
and Jacob.
The God who chose a people and gave them a land and told the rest of us that how we treat them will determine how we're treated. And
Hey, guys, big question here. How come none of the big clipping accounts, none of the big influencers shared this clip of this guy? Because they suppress it. They help cover up how bad it is.
how we're remembered.
Little Adolf Fuente.
Dude, somebody needs to ask this guy. I'm sure at Bible camp, the Christian that was like, hey, man, I don't know if we should worship Jews so much. This seems pretty cucked. He's like, no, we have to. Genesis 12. I'd be like,
all right, man, I need to ask you something, and I need you to tell me the truth. Are you a fag?
You know he got asked that. Hand selected to heir to Jerry Falwell. Let's see.
My name is Johnny Moore, and I am a Christian Zionist.
He said the line.
I want to thank you for having me here tonight. I know inviting a reverend for Shabbat is a little unorthodox, pun intended. I promise, though, I brought my own wine. Actually, I'm a Baptist, so I brought grape juice.
That's funny.
But I'm also
Don't worry, I won't mess up your kosher wine.
not going to try to turn your water into anything tonight. I also promise, as an evangelical Christian, to not try to convert anyone to anything unless you're a Democrat, and then all bets are off.
Don't worry, Jews, I won't try to convert you to Jesus. You can go to heaven without him.
Actually, if anything, I'm here to thank you, as the Jewish community, for converting us. Because every blessing in my Christian life is the byproduct of your Jewish religion, your culture, your history, and your values.
Oh my gosh. Add it to the compilation, guys. Add it to the mix. Funny, all the Christians on all the stages and with the big influence and the big YouTube channels and the mega churches and the foundations and the millions of dollars and never censored. They all talk like this, and you are systematically going to be crushed. As soon as they want to flip the switch and drop the hammer, all of this noticing and viral tweets is going to, boop, be gone.
Gave them a land and told the rest of us that how we treat them will determine how we're treated and how we're remembered.
Little Adolf
Okay.
Fuentes. You're people. those who call for the extermination of Israel, and foremost, by calling it out.
Views went unchallenged.
That's how.
Given platform, where this is a guy who says Hitler was cool, has specifically said that Jews should be terminated if,
Hold on. White Falcon says they gave this guy $30 million of our tax dollars to run the mass murdering foundation in the heart of Gaza. This Christian guy, they gave him $30 million to do some Gaza stuff? Is that what you're saying?
In the next round of white nationalist leadership.
Dude, look at the state of our politics and all the Christians, and people go like, it's not really religion though, Adam. Adam, why do you gotta keep talking about religion? You're not gonna convert anybody. They're not gonna give up their faith, man. Just keep quiet about the whole Jesus is fake and Jewish thing, man. Stop being divisive, dude, and calling out this Jewish religion. Like, we won't have kids without it, man. What are you, anti-white? This is how bad the state of affairs are, and these guys want to counter-signal me online for exposing this fake Jewish religion.
And those views went unchallenged, which a number of speakers have talked tonight about this rise of anti-Semitism on the right. What's going on? Is this a little
right, Sarah? Religion is such a major component. Anybody trying to minimize it is full of shit. When I talked to Dan Bilzerian on a space months ago, he was like, I don't really think it's a religion problem. It's just like Jewish supremacy, not religion. He couldn't even condemn Judaism, let alone admit that Jesus is Jewish and the Christians are like, they're getting away with this. Their greatest weapon is Christianity.
Or is this a big problem that's growing?
It's a problem, and if it's not addressed now, it will grow. If the Republican Party doesn't address its own fetid corners, then the Democrats will have a legitimate way to say, look, you've got this big problem and you're only one step away, or so on. So there's no...
One step away from what? Nazi America? Is that that's what he thinks the left's going to say?
Reason why, I mean, I don't need to insult the guy, but why the person you just mentioned's name should be on our lips. This is just, there are some people who...
Yeah, any influencer that that's scared to criticize the religious aspect, they're scared of offending Christians and losing support. That's what it is. We'll just worry about religion after we win. No more pagan Christian infighting. Hey, Adam, why you got to focus on all Christians? How about just focus on the Christian Zionists? Dude, the non-Zionist Christians are enabling the Christian Zionists, telling them that the Bible's real. They just got it wrong, but the Bible's real. They've just been, remember like Tucker's going to say with Fuentes, he's like, yeah, it's a mind virus. How anybody can fall for this mind virus of Schofield Zionism? Like, dude, you've fallen for the mind virus of believing the Bible's real to begin with. You're in no position to point the finger.
For those of us who know history, there are some people who are simply doing the following intellectual trick. They're reheating a bit of Buchananism, they're reheating some David Irvingism, and they're doing it now, and they're getting away with it for a very specific historic reason. If I could just say what I think that is. They're getting away with it now for the first time from the right because of the fact that the generation of Holocaust survivors is basically died out.
Oh, come on.
These people did not...
They're not browbeat. We're not able to browbeat the Goyim enough, the younger generation with all the Holocaust survivors. Dude, all I've ever hear about is Holocaust survivors. Every single chance you get in this conversation, the Holocaust is being brought up. We need more Holocaust indoctrination to squelch this uprising of the Goyim noticing. Like, that's what it sounds like to me. Survive the Jive. Yeah, I'll have him on. I don't know if he will, but I would talk to him. I would like that.
I mean, I don't need to insult the guy, but why the person you just mentioned's name should be on our lips. This is just, there are some people who are, for those of us who know history, there are some people who are simply doing the following intellectual trick. They're reheating a bit of Buchananism, they're reheating some David Irvingism.
It's an intellectual...
If I could just say what I think that is. They're getting away with it now for the first time from the right because of the fact that the generation...
Or like... The David Irving tricks, like the pile of shoes aren't the piles of shoes aren't working anymore. That's what's allowing this to happen. That's why I lost my debate to Dave Smith on Joe Rogan. Have you been there?
People did not dare do this in the face of the immovable object of the survivors of the Shoah.
Oh my God.
But now, some people to the furthest fringes of the right are seeing the opportunity to do this. All we have to do...
The anti-Semites are in their basements. Like, I don't see any more Holocaust survivors around. Time to go. Standing by and standing down. Let's go. Let's try to genocide the Jews again. Like, these people, the pictures they try to paint.
On the right, you and the Republican Party, is to just hold the line that you all know you can hold. And to say no. Nowhere near us.
Thank you.
Nowhere near us. And it's not like it's hard. And if...
Thank you.
You know, the various characters who want to platform these people and think it's edgy and it's cool. There's nothing very edgy or cool.
I decide what cool is. Isn't he like he's like a gay Shabbos Goy Englishman? I decide what cool is.
About doing that on the right any more than there was on the left.
Yeah, terrified of debate, all they can do is browbeat.
Think of those far leftists who like to play with Castro and Mao and Stalin and all of that. Not at all. It's a rancid, fetid habit from the far left. Same thing with these guys with the right. And no, don't ask this person on and then just say you're just asking questions and give them softball interviews and come on. Anyhow, I don't know what's gone wrong with some of these people, but I don't think it's going to be hard to counter. As somebody mentioned earlier, I'm still pretty strong on the idea that being anti-Hitler remains mainstream.
I grew up the victim of rampant systemic and physical anti-Semitism, where it was not safe for me to eat in the cafeteria with the other students.
Oh, he was a little fat. He was the little fat Jewish kid getting picked on, huh? That's what fueled. That's the origin story, the genesis of Randy Fine. He was a little fat kid that got made fun of at the lunch table.
Principal saved my life by letting me hide in his office when I needed to.
Oh my God! Just like Anne Frank hiding in the floorboards, Randy Fine was hidden from the middle school, elementary school pogroms in the principal's office.
Facing violence no 12-year-old ever should have to. On the day of my
Anne Frank, what did I say? Did I not say Anne Frank? Did I misspeak?
I promised I would do everything that I could to make sure my children did not face what I did. And for 8 years, as a member of the Florida legislature, I worked hard to deliver on that promise, to make Florida the safest place in America to be Jewish. Those of you who are from Florida know that. We were the first state to adopt the IRA definition of anti-Semitism, to name CARE a terrorist organization, to ensure Jewish day schools had adequate security, and to make sure terrorist encampments could never take hold at Florida's
To have the Noah Hyde Law moment of silence in the public schools.
Universities. Every one of those was my bill. I'm the first member of Congress in American history to wear a kippah. And I'm going to tell you why. I am not Orthodox. But when I got to Congress, they put me on the Education Committee. And on May the 6th, we had our first hearing to deal with anti-Semitism. And in that morning, my son, Jacob, who's 17 years old, said, "Dad, I think you should wear a kippah today." And I said, "Why?" "We only wear a kippah at services." He said, "Because I have friends like these down here who go to college and who are afraid to wear theirs. So you go wear one for them." And I did. And I gave those college presidents a piece of my mind. And at the end of that day, you should find the YouTube videos. At the end of the day, my son said, "Dad, I want you to keep wearing it until every college student feels safe permanently wearing their kippah." In our faith...
But aren't they also saying that they feel less safe than ever? Like
forces of evil for 3,000 years. We've never been afraid.
Evil. Anything that ever opposes them is evil. It drives me crazy that this is how they do it.
Because we're guided by Hashem's demand that we bring light to the world. That we stand before the darkness and we be prepared to do what is right.
We're hated because we're so good and right and chosen and on our mission from God.
God puts us where he wants us to be. Not just for me as a congressman, but for all of you. For all of these kids down here, for all of you in the audience. God wants you to be right here, right now, engaged in that fight. And today in this room and at this time, we speak with one loud and convincing truth. We will not let our party fall to this darkness.
I know what God has said.
The darkness of Esau.
What God mean to people like me as a Christian. And we have to stand by those principles to the very end. And I'm gonna say this, because I know a lot of you guys in here are bold and courageous, but this is the time to be more bold than ever before.
Bold?
Anti-Semitism in America is out of control. And it's no longer a time where you can sit back and watch others perform and watch others stand up for what's right. You have to get off of your butt, get online or wherever you need to get, and stand up for what's real and what's...
Get online and defend the Jews in tweets. That's what he's calling for. He's like, I'm getting ratioed left and right. I need your help over here. Hasbara, send in your bots. Unit 8200, get the JIDF in here.
It's true. And let me say this. I will never capitulate. I will never give credence to foolish people who are anti-Semitic, who are racist, people who hate America. I will never support them. I don't care how long you've been podcasting. I don't care how many follows you got. I don't care how much money you got. When you platform somebody, bring somebody on your show and let them just dog out Jewish people, let them just dog out and say they support Stalin, I will never support you. I see somebody.
Dude, isn't it amazing? It must be so amazing to be Nick right now. Like, all of politics is just like feasing over him so hard. So much attention.
With a sign said Tucker is not MAGA. I guess I got to put his name out there. That's not MAGA. Quit lying to yourself. Quit trying to cover. You just hate Jews. Just say it.
They always say that.
I'm just asking questions no more. You're not just asking questions. Asking questions means you do your research first before you put something out into the atmosphere. It's not asking questions to make accusations.
They always try to dismiss you by saying, oh, you just hate. You just hate. That's just hate. You're just Amalek. Oh, it's a law of nature. They're the good and God's on their side, and if you're against it, you're evil and you're cursed and you hate. That's all they ever say.
Jews run the world. You are a fool. If you somehow think that Bibi Netanyahu...
Six Flags is shut down.
Trump, you are a fool. And then October the 7th happened. And I was so upset because good, innocent people were killed.
Or maybe just one location.
Since people who were hostage or who were held hostage for 490 days. People in the IDF. And I don't want to relive this for you, but it was a moment that made me so upset and angry because I can see a very similar, I have a very similar feeling that if that happened to America, how would I feel? And the first thing that came out of my mouth, and y'all keep praying for me, I said, I want them to turn this place into a parking lot.
What?
I gotta preface it because somebody's gonna clip this and put it on the internet. Not because of the Palestinian people per se, individual people, but because if you dare to do such an atrocity to people that I love, people that I respect, people that are chosen by God, you decide to do something like that, you should never have an opportunity to do it again. And it should be an example.
So collective punishment
in the world.
So he just said he wants to turn Gaza to a parking lot, but they're going to sit up here. He's some internet influencer, YouTuber, Tatum, Officer Tatum. He's a former police officer. So because 1,000 Hamas guys did something on October 7th, the 2 million people living in Gaza should be turned to a parking lot.
That if you ever think about trying something like this, your country will cease to exist. And I want to finish.
Oh, America. So if America doesn't give Israel everything at once, abandons Israel, betrays Israel, whatever they want to say, divides the land of Israel, we don't exist.
Like this. God bless you. I love you too.
Such a shabos.
God bless Israel. God bless all my Jewish brothers and sisters out here. God
such a
bless
token.
America, and y'all keep fighting a good fight.
Dude, they're paying him nice for this. Oh, remember this guy?
Nazis are evil and anti-Semitism is repulsive.
Dude, I've never seen such a thin face. Dude, this guy, he looks like he could fit through the bars of the banister of the balcony.
In our party, We don't give platforms to people who support Stalin or Hitler. Make no mistake, we must fully combat anti-Semitism. Make no mistake, we should not give credence,
No, you all need to just worship Jesus.
credibility, or attention to hate.
Yeah, collective punishment.
And ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, the Republican Party and the most pro-Israel president in the history of the United States will continue to fight anti-Semitism and protect the Jewish people and stand firmly and decisively with Israel.
I want to be clear about something. If you want to be anti-Semitic, there's already one political party that features that. Our side cannot tolerate anti-Semitism.
What's this guy's name? Rick Scott? Rick Scott is the one with the big Israeli flag in his office, right?
We cannot and we will not put up with that in our Republican clock. I have a bill.
Never heard that one. Dude, look at this guy in his office with an Israeli flag, foreign flag that big.
Hi, Senator Rick Scott here.
Hi.
I hear from Americans, it seems like every day, they're sick and tired of changing their clocks back and forth.
Look at this
We
ghoul.
need to lock the clock. Now we have President Trump in the White House. He agrees. Lock the clock. I have a bill.
Oh, this was last year. Last year.
Lock the clock and stop this forever changing twice a year. So let's make sure this is the last time we have to change our clocks.
Well, that didn't happen. Dude, look at that big old Israeli flag he's got there telling us what our movement, what we're going to allow. I mean, it's always been their movement, though. This idea like MAGA's changed, like MAGA's been taken over by Zionists. Dude, MAGA was always Zionist. I was trying to tell you from day one.
Stand together and condemn anti-Semitism and hatred wherever we see it. Here that's busting their butt to get Republicans elected. I'm very appreciative of what you're doing to help Israel and fight anti-Semitism. If there's anything I can do to be supportive, give me a call. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Rick Scott, another Christian.
Want to call into question certain things when it comes to Israel. Let me be very clear. In our party, we will not tolerate anti-Semitism.
Rick Scott, graduate of Oklahoma Christian University. Is that the same one? Oh, Rick Scott, supported by the Family Research Council.
We will not tolerate bigotry. Because let me tell you a quick story. I was in Israel back in 2019. I went to Israel. And I was in country for 9 days. And on that trip, what came up a lot was how it was Jewish people who stood with black people in America when they were being persecuted.
This is what it is. This is why we see all the blacks here. They're really pushing the Black-Jewish alliance against Whitey. That's what it is.
And so what we are
rallying all of the races against
definitely
Esau.
Those in the Democrat Party, and then some in other parts of politics try to demonize Jewish Americans here and try to weaken or destroy the relationship between the United States of America and the nation of Israel. And you have my word that going forward, Florida will always stand for freedom and liberty, and we will never tolerate anti-Semitism.
Newsmax doesn't run, and we tell the truth. And the truth includes
another Christian, Chris Ruddy of Newsmax, another Christian.
Not just when it's easy, but when it's hard. I was only 19 years old when I first traveled to Israel to study at the Hebrew University. Menachem Begin was the prime minister at the time. I remember it very well.
Dude, he went to Hebrew University.
But I was
Christ Cuck moment.
As a teenager, discovering how many lies there were about media, in the big media, about Israel. And what's incredible is all these years later, things haven't changed. They've actually gotten worse. The media continues to twist the facts.
Good point, Brother B. They have the Edom eagle with the Star of David punched through it. On top of it, the star over the eagle. The Star of Jacob over the eagle of Edom. Good eye. Good point.
Context often portray Israel, our lone democratic ally in the Middle East, as the bad guy, as the aggressor. I mean, they get attacked on October 7th and they're the bad guy. It's worse today because the liberal media echo chamber is more effective than it was so many years ago. At Newsmax, we're pushing back. We've told the world what really happened on October 7th. We've shown the faces of the victims, the stories of the hostages, the courage of the Israeli people. Because truth matters, and silence in the face of lies is complicity. On October 7th, we were all Israelis. But tonight, I want to talk to you about something else, something that's just as troubling. We expect attacks on Israel from the far left, but increasingly, we're seeing dangerous rhetoric from the right in America. Now, I don't call these people conservatives. Mark Levine sitting over there, he's a conservative. Real conservatives don't spread hate. But some of these voices, people like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens,
only hate for Palestinians and Muslims,
have made it their mission to target Israel. All the problems of the world left in America and the world, and they're focused on Israel. You got to wonder what's going on here. They even question its right to defend itself, and they've made statements and taken actions that really undermine Israel's very right to exist. These folks are spreading old lies and anti-Semitic claims like the ones that Jews secretly control America. They control everything. Don't forget,
not so secretly.
It's the same lie the Nazis told. The Jews controlled everything. They controlled Britain. They controlled the United States.
Oh, dude, you can't talk. Nobody can talk about Jewish control of anything because the Nazis said it. Funny how that little trick works. If you talk about their control of anything, they're going to use their control to crush you and ban you from everywhere. And they all have the power, and you're just nobodies in your mommy's basements. But they're going to kvetch about you all day.
Now it's being repackaged.
Do they not even see? They lack the self-awareness to see how they come across.
For a new generation of Americans, amplified by millions of dollars pouring into social media from bad actors around the world. That really needs to be investigated by Congress. Some even...
You mean like how the Jews just forced TikTok to sell? Now it's under Jewish control and there's an IDF person in charge of the algorithms over there from Israel? Maybe that should be investigated.
Claim, as Tucker recently did in another post, that the Bible completely got it wrong. Jews aren't the chosen people of God. Imagine that. He's now a biblical scholar, and he can overturn 2,000 years of Christian and Jewish teachings. Make no mistake about this. This is an information war we're fighting. I've said it.
Make no mistake about this. This is a spiritual religious war, spiritual battle, not Satan versus Jesus, Jewish religions versus not believing in Jewish religions. That is, make no mistake about it, that is what this fight is. They're trying to tell you when they say that you're the neo-pagans now and you're not real Christians, and you're just going to keep saying, no, we are. Narrow path. The Anon e-crusaders on the internet. Nick Fuentes is the real Christian, not the Pope. Pastor Steven Anderson and Rick Wiles. And what's the guy? Boykin, Balkins, whatever his name is. They're the real Christians, not all of the ones that run all the Christian institutions and megachurches. Baldwin, Chuck Baldwin, that's the name I was looking for.
Before, and I believe it even more strongly today, that Benjamin Netanyahu is the Churchill of our time.
Oh my God. I remember he was glazing Netanyahu at on stage at some other event recently. Yeah, Stu Peters is the real Christian. I mean, who do you think's going to win? Fuentes, Stu Peters, Chuck Baldwin, Rick Wiles, Pastor Steven Anderson, Joel Webbin, or the whole big Jesus institution and all the book publishers and all of the mega churches and all of the huge YouTube channels and foundations and millions? Who's going to come out on top?
His leadership against Iran didn't just save Israel, it saved America and the West.
The West. They all repeat this talking points.
A nuclear-armed Iran would not only threaten Tel Aviv, but New York, London, Las Vegas, Los Angeles.
Oh, come on.
and every city that values freedom.
Yeah,
and as long as I have a platform, Newsmax will stand on the side of truth, the side of freedom, the side of Israel.
Israel is our ally. It is a symbol of what democracy can be.
Who is this guy?
And it is the only true democracy in the Middle East. So let us be clear. Israel is not an oppressor. Israel is not committing genocide. Israel is a beacon of freedom, of hope, and opportunity, and we will always stand with our ally Israel. Everybody decries the one Jewish state in the world. Interestingly, none of those people...
Oh, yeah, I forgot. E. Michael Jones, the real Catholic. Who's the real Catholics? E. Michael Jones and Nick Fuentes, or the Pope? Who do you think's going to win?
Say one word about Arab states. Why is it they are so outraged about the thought of a Jewish state? Because it is rooted in anti-Semitism. Let us be clear. Anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism.
They all speak in mantras.
Of anti-Semitism is one of the reasons why I introduced the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act.
Oh, that's who this is. He's a Catholic. Mike Lawler, the Catholic Mike Lawler, introduced the Anti-Semitism Act, the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism. And then these Christians go, the Jews are trying to ban the Bible. And it's a Catholic guy that's introducing it.
The Department of Education to adopt the IRA working definition of anti-Semitism when investigating and enforcing civil rights law and enforcing and upholding Title VI of the 1964 Civil Rights Act. I'm also advancing the Countering Hate Against Israel Act, pushing back on those who use taxpayer dollars to delegitimize the Jewish state, and the IGO Anti-Boycott Act, to fight back against the insidious BDS movement promoted by the United Nations.
Yeah, they got everybody in Congress that talks like this, besides a couple people. Pushing all these new laws, all these anti-boycott laws, all these censorship laws, ADL and everything they're doing. And you think you're going to beat them with your memes, your ratio on Twitter? They're allowing that to happen. It's part of the script. BDSM laws,
Trump's
kinky.
First term, he adopted legislation to hold countries to account that try to coerce and force U.S. companies to engage in the BDS movement. I am simply seeking to expand that definition to include the United Nations and hold that institution accountable for its anti-Israel, anti-U.S., anti-Jewish bigotry and hatred.
Oh my God. UN, the UN so evil and anti-Jewish. Everybody's anti-Jewish.
And I've been receiving pushback for doing that from those on the right, like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Who knew that Marjorie Taylor Greene was such a fan of the United Nations? It's pathetic, it's embarrassing, and we must pass that legislation immediately. And folks, we will ensure that the Department of Education finally holds colleges accountable for the explosion of anti-Semitism on campuses since October 7th. This moment demands courage. Anti-Semitism threatens not just the Jewish community, but the moral fabric of our nation. Hamas is the face of evil, and Israel has every right to defend itself. And the United States must stand with Israel without hesitation or apology. That is what leadership looks like. That is what the Republican Party, the party of Lincoln and Reagan and Trump, is delivering once again. We are the...
You see, what happens? Oh, Nick Fuentes goes on Tucker. They run and report anti-Semitism more than ever on Twitter. Anti-Semitism on X study. X, one of the most effective tools for spreading anti-Semitism ever in history. That's the headlines. I told you how the headlines are being written, this narrative that we're going to see. And now what do? Everything is about simping for Jews. Everything is about being defenders of Jews. All the discussion, how they're going to crush anti-Semitism. The Pope coming out making a statement about opposing anti-Semitism. If you really think Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones and Tucker and Steve Bannon and E. Michael Jones and Dan Bilzerian are going to take down the power structure, good luck.
Party that stands up for Israel's right to exist, for America's alliance with the Jewish people, and for the fundamental truth that good and evil are not morally equivalent.
Jews good, anything not Jews bad and evil.
In a world filled with moral confusion, we choose clarity. In a time of weakness, we choose strength. And in the face of hatred, we choose courage. As Psalm says, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you be secure. That's what we're fighting for. Security, freedom, and peace for Israel, for the Jewish people, and for the United States of America. So let each of us here recommit ourselves to standing with Israel, to combating anti-Semitism, and to ensure that America remains a steadfast ally and defender of the Jewish people. Because it's not only the right thing to do, it is the moral thing to do. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Israel. And may God bless the United States of America.
Oh, my God. God bless. God bless. Hashem bless.
My life in recent years is that I probably got more rabbis in my life than anyone has a right to have. And I probably go to synagogue more often than some of you. But
good ending. Yeah, E-Crusader Gripers will be like, these aren't the real Christians, derp. But my Vatican II, though, derp.
If you sit there and...
We need a new crusade. We need Jesus. We need real Christianity, derp. RNC chairman.
And instead of being condemned, anti-Semites are far too often. We're facing a rising tide of anti-Semitism in this country.
We're watching them all.
We're seeing Jewish Americans harassed, assaulted, and targeted for violence at an alarming and unprecedented rates.
This is just a kvetch fest. This whole conference is a kvetch fest.
Including the Ivy League college campuses, not only tolerate,
shut it down conference.
Actively foster anti-Semitism.
Yeah, we need Jesus more than ever.
Condemned, anti-Semites are far too often given a public platform and allowed to spew their hatred without consequence. As I speak to you, we are on the verge of seeing Zohran Mamdani, a communist anti-Semite who refused to explicitly condemn Hamas or the phrase globalized intifada, elected as mayor of our nation's largest city.
Yeah, that's good one, notice it. Without Jesus, we will stoop to their level. Yeah, and actually stop losing.
Democrat candidates for governor in New Jersey, Mickey Sherrill, campaigned with an avid supporter of anti-Semite Louis Farrakhan, and Abigail Spanberger, running for governor in Virginia, has failed to condemn a fellow Democrat legislator who made overly anti-Semitic remarks. These are not isolated incidents. Anti-Semitism has found a home in the Democrat Party. Instead of, we're silent.
Thank you, Liam.
Thankfully, last November's voters said enough. We now have a president who is fighting to stop this scourge that has spread across our country. President Trump promised on the campaign trail that he would be the best friend Jewish Americans ever had in the White House. And I believe he has delivered on that promise. One of President Trump's first actions when he took office was to sign an executive order to take unprecedented steps to combat anti-Semitism. He ordered the Justice Department to stop pro-Hamas rioters and protect Jewish Americans from harassment. He said that if you're a foreigner in this country and you celebrate Hamas campaign of kidnapping, rape, and murder, you're going to be deported. And he created a new Justice Department task force solely dedicated to fighting anti-Semitism.
Oh my God, so boring.
Also fulfilled his promise to go after colleges and universities that allow
We're gonna go after anti-Semitism
on our campuses.
On our campuses.
Under his leadership, the Department of Education is investing.
RNC chairman.
60.
Dude, why are we ruled over by these types?
Semitic harassment and discrimination. He forced
Harassment.
Columbia University to pay $20 million to Jewish employees who were targeted by the pro-Hamas mobs after the October 7th attacks.
Oh, come on. Come on. Framing it as pro-Hamas, the protest on college campuses, pro-Hamas mobs. A girl got attacked with the flagpole.
By the way, that's the largest ever settlement for victims of anti-Semitism for workers of any religion.
Because every sentence
Schools have
has
failed to protect Jewish
anti-Semitism.
students. President Trump stood up and cut off billions of federal funding.
take a shot every time they say anti-Semitism, oh man, nobody would survive that.